Okay, welcome everyone to this training seminar on the Technical Assistance Tracking System. We're going to start with an introduction by LaTanya Dunlow.
Thanks, George, and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the HAB TATS training. My name is LaTanya Dunlow, and I'm the Corporate Monitor for the HIV/AIDS Bureau Task Order. Management Strategist Consulting Group, or MSCG, is a joint venture between Management Solutions Consulting Group and Innovative Management Strategists. And we're the contractor responsible for coordinating the technical assistance for the HIV/AIDS Bureau and Ryan White HIV/AIDS Task Orders. So the purpose of the HAB and Ryan White HIV/AIDS Task Orders are to provide assistance, whether that's technical, consultative, or other assistance, to the grantees and planning bodies and service providers funded under the Ryan White HIV/AIDS program and site visits. We are committed to providing high-quality services to our clients and consultants, and we want to thank you all for your continued support and interest in providing consulting services. We look forward to working with you all and providing superior support to the HAB grantees. So now I'll turn the call over to the project manager, George Ersick.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I am George Ersick. Some of you may remember me from 4 years ago when we had this contract. This is a training session that is mandatory. Of course, those of you who are already on the line know that, and you don't have to worry about that. But two things, some housekeeping first. This is being recorded, so as a disclaimer, if you do not want your golden voice on this recording, log off now if you're going to ask a question or participate. Okay? Second, this is a recorded session. It should be available on the MSCG website sometime tomorrow. Should you need to log off or you missed part of it or you would just want to go back and remember, there is a lot of information here, so chances are many of you are going to want to log back in and listen to the recorded session again, because for those of you who have never dealt with TATS before, this is a lot of information you need to absorb today. Okay, with me is Ramana Kalavita. Okay, he's the IT person. He and I will be tag teaming most of this presentation. The logistics person who will primarily be responsible for this contract, who is listening in, is Andrea Reed, and she is being assisted when we need her by Ramonda Davis, and that is basically the HAB team in addition to LaTanya, who we just introduced a minute ago. Okay? Questions will be done when we complete the presentation. That is because, number one, time constraints, and number two, some of these topics and modules are interrelated, and you'll be asking a question that we're going to answer when we get to the next slide or the next page or the next module. So we're going to do the presentation, and then we'll ask questions. You're in a listen-only mode. You need to do *6 to mute and unmute. You may also do the chat type questions that you see on, you should be able to see on your screen. Okay, but again, we will not be responding to questions until we complete the presentation. The presentation is, as you hopefully now see on your screen, there's 4 parts to it: consultant profile, TA packet, TA report, and then online site visit report system. We'll discuss each one of these as we go through it. It is important to remember that, and I'll talk about each one of these as we do them, the online site visit report system for Part C, Part D, and F programs. That is only relevant to the consultants who are doing site visit reports for those programs. We'll cover that again when we come to it, but that's very important to remember. However, even with that online system, everybody, every single consultant, every single report needs to be uploaded into TATS, the Technical Assistance Tracking System. TATS is a HRSA system designed for all of the HRSA bureaus. The other thing you need to realize about that system is it is not an MSCG system. Okay, so we have limited ability to modify, change, or do anything within that system. So what we're talking about in training today is basically everything we can do from our perspective and what we can do to help you. TATS was designed, as you see on the screen, to centralize the initiation and tracking of a site visit or other TA within the EHB. That is something else that's important for you all to realize. Every task, whether it's a site visit, a special project, a manual, a research report, whatever it is, there is going to be a task request, and that will have to be entered into TATS. However, we'll talk about that more detail later on research reports and manuals in of themselves will not need to be uploaded in the TATS, but you will need to upload the information that certifies that you've completed a manual, that you've completed the research report, et cetera, into TATS to satisfy the project officer and the HIV/AIDS Bureau that you've completed the assignment, and then in TATS there is a recognition of that fact that the assignment is completed. I've already said the bottom bullet, all of HRSA is adopting this EHB platform for the provision of TA. That means every bureau in HRSA, every office in HRSA that's involved with TA is going to be using the technical assistance tracking system. Next slide. Okay, the training units. I won't read every single line, but we're going to start with the expertise profile as the first training unit. That's the lengthiest training unit and has the most information in it, and it has the most involvement from you as the consultant in terms of information you're going to need to upload into the profile. The consultant profile is all of the information that we need as an organization to be able to assign a consultant with relevant experience, background, and expertise to a particular task. All of you, even if you've been in the HIV/AIDS Bureau's consultant roster, need to update your profiles now in TATS yet again. Okay, so it doesn't matter that you've been rostered with HAB previously. Everybody needs to update their profiles. Okay, the other thing is in TATS, you need a username and password. All of you should have received that information by now. If you have not, please contact us, and we'll give you the contact person at the end of the presentation. But everybody should have their username and access into the TATS system at this point if we know you were on the roster. Okay, we're going to begin the profile. I talked about this briefly. The profile, when we talk about the profile, that is all of the relevant information about each and every one of you that is entered into the database. It includes your training, your background, your education, your expertise, and information regarding what your previous experience has been with TATS and HAB programs.
Okay, so
the other thing you should realize in this presentation differs slightly from the slides that you see on the screen because we are going to go live and online for these screens so that you can see what actually happens in TATS. Instead of going slide by slide by slide that you see in the TA information that we sent you, we're going to go live and on the screen. We're going to use fake names and or names of individuals who have agreed to let us use them as an example today as we log into TATS, so you'll even see how that works. And at this point, I'm going to let Ramana begin the first part of the process.
okay, thank you, George and Latanya. Good afternoon. My name is Ramana Kariveda. I'm with MSCG. I'll be presenting you the live system so that I can show you the screens. I'm not going to go over the presentations. I'll take you to the system where I can go with screen by screen and show what are the options. We're gonna, as George said, we're gonna deal the consultant profile first, and then we'll go to the later modules during the later time of the call. So I'm starting here with the TATS login page, existing user login. If you can all see here, so the username is your email address, and password is I have sent you the details probably either Thursday or Friday of last week, so you should have it. If you do not have it or if you missed it, let me know and we can always send you a new set. So I am logging in here as a consultant, and I'll go through the consultant profile. And remember, you need to go in there and update your profile. That way, when we look for a consultant for a TA visit, we're gonna search on the expertise. So right now I'm logging in as a consultant here. Okay, so this is the screen you see whenever you log in. I just want to go over this screen a little bit more because some of you might have seen this for the first time. So this is where your details, your profile, and you can change your password and all the stuff. And this is the support button here, and this is the home. And if there are any tasks assigned to you, you're going to see here. The 0 means you have nothing pending, and you can always check on clicking the tasks. Click on tasks.
By the way, the system does take a few seconds to go from screen to screen sometimes, so don't panic if it doesn't pop up right away.
So when you click on task, you see the left-hand menu. If you see, like, I can minimize this. So, like, if you don't see this, expand this. By default, it is minimized, but, like, you just click to expand it. And this is the stuff, like, these are the options you have in your TATS profile. That's all you have. There are 4 things. George is gonna go over what each of those you're gonna explain. Then I'm gonna take to the screens.
Okay. The first one is self-evident. Prepare TA report. That is the option you're going to select when your site visit is completed and you're doing your work and you're about, if you're the team leader, you're going to prepare your consolidated team report to upload in the TATS. When we get to that screen, you'll see what you need to do next. Change requested. This is an option that's actually not going to come from you necessarily, but more likely will come from me if there's a reason that we need changes to be made to a report in TATS. Though you should be aware of the fact that if you do change requested, it will come back to me, but it's very rare that a consultant will select that because you can normally just communicate with me directly. The profile, we talked about that. That's the one we're in right now. That is all the information that anybody would ever want to know about you in regards to your participating as a consultant for a site visit. And then the final one is the TA packet. What is that? The TA packet, really short version, is all of the information you're going to receive from us regarding your upcoming site visit. And we'll go into more detail when we get to that slide, but that is all the information you're going to get from us, MSCG, regarding the upcoming site visit that you've been assigned to. Okay, Ramana.
Okay, so let's start with the view update profile from the left-hand menu. You can read under technical assistance, there is a link view update profile. I'm going to click on that, and this has 4 subsections: personal information, work information, expertise information, preferences. You need to make sure this, you see a green arrow, green checkbox next to each. So, like, as long as it is not green, that means, like, your profile is not complete. So this user profile is totally complete. That's why you see, like, green. So, and again, on the personal information, all the asterisks, the red ones are required. They are mandatory. First name and last name, you cannot change it because it's pre-populated from the database. If there is anything wrong or anything with that, we will have to fix it from the back end, but you will not. So, and from here, your journey starts into this profile. So, gender, ethnicity, race, legally authorized to work, and languages. The language list here is English, and we are more interested in other languages, like, other than English. Like, by default, the English is counted, but, like, if you know some other language, Spanish or French, we would like to know, because some of our grantees, we need lingual people. So please make sure you fill this as soon as possible. And again, coming to the home address, this is your home address, and every field is required here with an asterisk, and the personal contact details, your email address. Again, if you want a communication to be a particular address, email address, please put it in the work address, because the work address is the default address we use. We're going to see that in the next slide. whatever we put this here, we just keep it, but we do not communicate to this email address. This will be on our file, but we really use the email address that is there in the work. And your first phone number, your cell number, and emergency contact details. All of these are required. And emergency contact address, the person, maybe it's the same address where you live, or maybe it's a different address, but we would like to know all the details. This is the screen 1 of 4, and you have options here. You have to make sure, choose action. Save means you can save now, come back here and fix the issues and go to the next step. Save and continue. You save the information here, go to the next step, and go finish the details in the next step. Mark as complete, that's what you got to do. If you are done with this, if you are done with all the changes here, if you're done with this particular page, you will be doing mark as complete and go button.
For all of the consultants, as you get used to TATS, every portion of TATS that we have, whether it's this or whatever else that we're talking about today, reports, be sure you remember that part. It's either going to be mark as complete, submit, or some other thing at the bottom. Hit go, and then you'll see another page. You'll be able to verify that you are complete. That's very important, because if you don't do that, it's not really in TATS. Even though you may have hit save or save and continue, trust me, it's not really in TATS until you take those final steps. Go ahead.
Okay, so it says the personal information is marked as complete. So now it's coming to the work information here, and employment status. This is optional. If you are independent consultant, self-employed, or if you work for some company. So we need this is, you just put this. So and either employee is HRSA grantee. So this information we would like to know. If you are a self-employed, you don't have to fill out anything else. So if we are currently employed, then we need these details. And this is your work address. Most of the people I know since last 10 years, the work and home address are same, but if they are different, you need to put, even if they are different or if they are same, we want to know both addresses. And this is the email address I'm talking about. So TATS communicates via work email address. Even though your preferred address is in home address and you put some different address, this is the address we use to communicate. So make sure you come here, but we got some email addresses for you from HAB. We put it in there, but probably you will have to go there and you will have to change, make adjustments for this one. Okay. So the phone number, work phone number and cell number. So again, the cell number is always good, because with these site visits, most of the people, they prefer to call them on the cell numbers. But we are not enforcing mandatory, but it's good to have a cell number. And the second address, this is totally optional. Here we have home address, we have a work address. This might be your summer address or winter address, whatever, but this is not mandatory. And other contact details, if you have any other information, but this is again, it's not mandatory. There is no asterisk with red. So once you are done with this section, you save and continue, mark as complete. So what I do is, whenever I am done with this section, I just I don't want to come here again and do it. So I just do mark as complete. That will take me to next page. See, the work information marked as completed successfully. Then it comes to expert experience. So here we would like to know your degrees, your credentials, any certifications, and there are some HRSA trainings that you need to take. This is one of them. The TATS is one of them. Those trainings you cannot modify or enter, but we push it from the back end. So the people who are attending the training today, they're going to see an entry here, TATS training, sometime next week, because we're going to push that information. The HRSA trainings are not user thing, you cannot input it. So we will take care of it from the back end, but everything else you got to do it. So the degree, you can add degree, you can add credentials, and you have areas of expertise. If you are associated with the 2 bureaus, you can do bureau specific expertise and the community background. So I'm going to go one after another. So match the degree. If you want to update a degree, click on update. So you see, you can delete the degree, existing degree if it is wrong, or you can update it. Okay, now the degrees are pre-populated. So if you think your degree is not listed here, select other option and enter that degree here. So all the standard degrees across the United States, we have it listed here. So if it is an international degree or other than the degree that is in this list, select other, enter the information. Field of study, your specialization. If you see accounting, administration, whatever, your specialization, what is it? It is also required. If it is not here, your field of study is not here, again, select other and enter that one. Institution for this particular degree you are entering. And state awarded and year awarded. So city and state is non-mandatory, but year is mandatory. So what you do is, once this is done, I'm just putting some tests here. Okay, I just do save and continue. Okay, so I have added my degree here. Okay, so if you want to add one more degree, because this is a 1 degree, if you have more than 1 degree, you just click add degree and select whatever. I'm just just doing a manual this thing. So now I have added the degree 2 here, second degree. So you can add, there is no limitation on the degrees, you can add any degrees you want. So I just added 2 degrees here. And credentials, this is a comma separated list. So whatever you type in, the system is going to take it. The limitation is 500 characters. So whatever you type here, it will take it. And these are all non-mandatory fields. Any trainings, not the HARSA trainings, not this training, but the trainings that you took for your career, which is helpful to do the HAB grantee site visits. So those trainings, comma separated. And do you have any licenses, clinical, something like that, any licenses? And you put the licenses here, but we need to know as an MSCG in the back when it expires. We are not capturing that here, but you probably got an email from us for a consultant contract. So the license is part of that contract. So we need an expiration date so that we can track every year. So, but here you are not doing anything. You're just entering your licenses. So now coming to areas of expertise. So as a consultant, you have 2 selections. You can, if you work for both grants, for both projects, BPIC and HAB, you will have to update both. But if this is only for HAB, the call is also for HAB. So you are mostly connected with this one, HAB, and again, click on update expertise for HAB. So you can see the expertise, view, and you can update it. Okay, so expertise for HAB or for any bureau in TATS, we need 6 expertise. Those are required. 3 primary, 3 secondary, and 3 optional. That you can, if you want to give us more information, that's fine, or else 6 are required. And it is a drop-down list, and you see here this expertise only to HAB. You see nothing else. You see just part A, part B, all this stuff. So you need to fill up all your expertise. And again, I'm just putting some test data. So this is not real. So I'm just making a random selections here. So but like system will not let you add 1 or 2. You have to finish all 6. Save and continue. Okay, so I selected twice. That's a problem. So it has to be unique. Okay, now I have the expertise here. I just added the expertise. I can see the expertise here by clicking this, view expertise. See, this is what I selected a minute ago, and I can see this stuff. Okay, now the next section is community background. So we have countryside, small city, medium, large, rural, and this is a not required field, but it's always good to have more information going forward, like, so that, when we plan for a CS site visit, we're going to search on these also. So if we have information, your profile is going to show up there. So, even though it is not mandatory, but try to provide as much information as possible. So it takes numbers like, 10 years, 20 years, whatever the experience you have. And references, the nominee details. Select the organization type for which you have your working experience with. So what type of organization you are, non-profit or anything so at least one checkbox is required. You need to select at least one. If none of them are listed here, you just select other and put the other name, whatever the type of the organization is. And if we would like to know if this experience is more than 1 year. So why it we need to know is when we schedule a team for the CA visit, we have some requirements. So sometimes we need to find people with certain years of experience in non-profit or in local. So we need to know this information. So by default it is yes. So if it is not applicable for you, just no, not applicable or no. So one of these options. And coming to the next thing, have you had experience with working with health related programs? So this one, again, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This information, by default, those are not applicable. But if you have one of these, one or all of these experience, please go ahead and check yes, yes, yes. So, but again, this helps us to finding a right consultant for right site visit. So, I know there is a lot of information we are asking, and the reason is we want to get the people suitable for the CA visits, the technical assistance site visits. So it's going to take a few, some time to fill all these obligations, by all these profile updations. But please do it because it helps us. And again, once you're done with this, mark as complete. If you are done, if you want to revisit back, you can do one of these questions, one of these options. But mark as complete is always the option that you are looking at. Okay, I put some wrong information somewhere. I need to go there and correct it. The field level messages. See, I put 10 here, but I did not select this, so I will have to select this. Okay, so number 3, expert in experience marked as complete successfully. The preferences. This is done. The last option is preferences. So we would like to know if you want to do only few number, only couple of site visits per year. So we would like to know how many you want a year per year. 10 to 20, we accept range 1 to 2, 10 to 20. So whatever, so you just put your minimum and maximum. Again, this is not a mandatory field. but it helps us. Indicate the time frame when you generally, like, some people, like, they only work during the winter, they only work during the summer, so, but just give us the time frame from, like, from date to end date you are available, so that, like, when we try to reach of you for our site visit, we're gonna look at your schedule, like, whether you are available during that time period or not. But this will help us instead of, like, calling you, say, like, whether you are available or not. So this will help us. And if you want to work in only certain states, like we have all the states, all the United States states are here. So you can select all. You can select one, more than one. So, but, like, if you want to work more than, like, the only certain states, so you can leave it blank. That means what that means. You are, like, you want to work in all the states. So that's what our understanding is. If we check something, then only we validate this. Otherwise, we think, like, you are ready to work anywhere in the U.S. Free for technical assistance. So these are the 12 assistances we have. There are 12. Some of them are, like, you only interested in, like, financial management or program management. So check whatever you are interested in. Again, if there is no check for any of these, that means, like, what we think is you want to work any of these TA types, work with any of these TA types. So once that is done, what I do is mark as complete and go. Okay, so here, personal information, work information, expert information, preferences, all are done. That means your profile is done. So we went through all this stuff, like, 4 tabs, and we got all the information, but you don't see how to set your how to set your password. So that is a different screen I'm going to show on the same place I'm going to show, but this is your profile, which is useful for MSCG to schedule you for the TA visits. The profile I'm going to show you next is for your internal management, like, how you want to access TATS or the password you want to use, the changing password. So that information I'll show you there. But this is regarding your work stuff, your daily, I can say, like, your resume stuff. So this is one of the 4 items, view, update profile. So I'm going to go to the next one. If you see here on the top right corner, there is a hidden thing. You can expand this, and you see here, view update profile. So you have 2 view update profiles. This is the left-hand side profile is helpful for us to, like, schedule you for a TA visit. This is more of for a vendor, for MSCG. We find the right people. And this from the top right corner, this is managing yourself in TATS. I click on this. It is thinking. Okay. So see, I told you over there, you cannot change your first name, last name, but this is the place you come here, you change it. You cannot change it right there. So first name, last name, if we need to change, and consolidate all mails you receive in a day and display as one mail center. Like, you get, like, 10 mails, 20 mails per day. So if you select this yes, all the emails are going to be attached to one email and you get one in a day. I don't think that's a good idea because, you get one mail with 10 sub-mails, which is like not a good thing. So the thing is, probably you just leave it up. So this screen to update your first name and last name.
Okay, Ramana, and to be clear, when they update their first and last name, it's only in TATS, the TATS screen. It doesn't change their profile. The other profile, or does it? Okay, go ahead.
So, yes, if you change your first name and last name here, it will change. It will also change here in the the other profile we just talked.
Okay.
You cannot change your first name and last name directly over there, but the workaround is you come here, you change it here. So these two profiles, they talk each other. So like, only first name and last name, we are not allowing to change it over there, but you can come here and you can change it here. But the username, whatever you have right now, even if it is wrong or you don't like it, but this is the username you will be using. It is an email address, but we are not communicating to this username. Username, you just use it to log in, but the email address in the work email profile that we just discussed, that is the email we will be using to communicate. So by mistake, like, if you have something wrong here, username, the only thing is it looks wrong for you because, that is the wrong email address. You still use that to log in, but we are not sending any emails to that username. So unfortunately, like, there is a lot of work involved to change the username. So there are a couple of issues we had recently last week. We are looking into those, but I don't know whether we're going to fix them or not. But yes, the username what I have provided to you, those are final for now. And those usernames, I did not make them. I got from the bureau, and those users, most of I can say 99% they are all good. So only I had only couple of email addresses they are wrong. But again, the usernames are not tied up to your email address, your email communications. So usernames you just type in and forget about it. Okay, so changing the password. You have, I sent you a password, temporary password. The system probably force you to change it. But if it is not, please go here and change your password. Like, you need to enter the current one, and you need to follow these things, and you need to confirm these ones, and security questions. So if you don't update this, and if you don't update the security question, whenever you you need to reset your password. Let's say you forgot or you lost it. There is no way we can reset it unless you can reset it unless you have the security question answered. So in that case, what you got to do is you got to contact me, and I will have to open a ticket to reset the password from the back end. So there is a 24 to 48 hours downtime you probably face. So to avoid that, whenever you go into TATS for the first time, go there, put the current password, put the new password, and select the security question and answer so that you can reset it in future if you forget it, so this will help you. So these are the two profiles. One is here for the TATS profile, and the other one is for the contract profile. So these are the two profiles that you need to, these are the first things you need to do before we get into the TA packets or TA reports. Those will come after the TA site visit schedules. So but these are two things as I said, and now I think I'm going to conclude this, the consultant profile, and we will take the questions towards the end of the call on all modules, including this module. I will answer all your questions towards the end. So by saying that, let's move on to the next module, I think, which is the technical assistance packet. So George will give you a brief introduction what that packet is and why we need it, why you need it, and all this stuff. So let me bring that presentation to you guys. Okay, so thing is, so
okay.
Yeah, George.
Quick. Again, when we talk about the TA packet, this is going to be all the information that goes back and forth between us, the Bureau, and you regarding the upcoming site visit and what information you need, what information we need back, et cetera, et cetera. That is, in essence, a real quick summary of the TA packet. As you see up there, we'll talk about the roles involved, because in this particular case, there are several actors. Unlike the consultant profile, there's only one actor, and that's you. okay, the consultant. In this particular case, there's roles involved, obviously, and we're going to talk about what each person does in the role, and then we'll talk about when we say assign a TA packet, what that means, what happens when we assign a TA packet. Starting off with the roles involved. Okay, welcome to the world of TATS. There are new terms involved in TATS. One of them is going to be on the vendor staff, that's us, a technical assistance coordinator. For the most part, this will be Andrea Reed, the name I mentioned earlier. This person you will know to grow and love, because this is the person that is going to be involved in setting up your site visit at the front end. Okay, that's her work. It's a lot of work on her end. By the way, most of TATS is more labor intensive on the vendor end than the consultant end. Okay, the other person involved in this process is the project officer. You obviously all would know who that would be when we begin this task. And then the final person involved in this role is the consultant. Next slide, please. Okay. TATS vocabulary, again, TAC, the Technical Assistance Coordinator, can assign the TA packet. What does that mean? We'll talk about that more in a second, but that means essentially that is the process within TATS, whereas that individual, and again, that is Andrea, gets the packet, gets the information, and begins the process. She needs to do that by assigning the TA packet to herself. Okay, access TA packet. At any point in time, the TAC can access the TA packet. At any point in time, the Technical Assistance Coordinator can start and edit the TA packet. We'll talk about all this as we go through the actual live presentation. The Technical Assistance Coordinator obviously can mark the packet as hold or canceled, and then the Technical Assistance Coordinator will submit a TA packet. The project officers at the HIV/AIDS Bureau can access the TA packet, so they know what's in it, what they need to know, what they need, make sure everything's in there that they need for the consultant team to have. They can review the TA packet at any time by going into TATS, and they can provide recommendations regarding what, again, else they see missing, what they think we need, what they think the consultant needs, etc., etc. Okay? And the consultant, you are somewhat more limited. You can access the TA packet at any time, and you can review the documents in the TA packet. And we'll talk about all of those documents that could be in a TA packet in a moment. Okay.
Okay. So I'll take you to the live presentation. I'm not going to go over the PowerPoint slides anymore for the TA packet. So I'm going back to the TATS. Okay, so this is where I am. So when you log in this is what you see. Let me click on that. Okay, so this is what you see. So you need to know how to access the TA packet. So you click on TATS. See, on the left-hand side, as I told you before, sometimes collapses. So you need to look for this one. You need to expand the left navigation. And see here, the last item on the left menu is Access TA Packet. So whenever you have a TA packet, you get an email, whenever we create a TA packet for you, you get an email from TATS saying, MSCG has created a TA packet for you. Go to the link below, which is a link to TATS, and access the TA packet. So we will send out that email to you, and the link is there, and all that you need is click the link, put the username and password, and you come here, the screen I am showing right now.
Okay, going back one step, when we talked about in your profile the work email address, that is the address TATS will send the packet to, not your home email address or anything like that. So that was why it is important that your work email address be where you want this information to go.
Okay, so now I'm clicking the Access TA packet. Okay, so you see here, Access TA packet, the title, and this particular consultant has 2 TA packets waiting for her to download. So you see here, detailed view, search, saved searches. So if you have a list of a lot of TA packets here, you just go there, click on search, and you put the TA number, TA00. The TA number always starts with a TA00 and then followed by some 4 numbers. It is probably a 0981 or 1015, something like that. We just recently reached the 1,000 mark. So yes, so you go here and you can search for it if you don't see the TA packet in the list, if you don't see it here. Okay, so detailed view, see here, they expanded. So they see here what is the TA type and all the stuff. That is a detailed view. And what are the options? Let me go back to summary view. What are the options you have? See, there is only one option you have. What is that? Download TA packet documents. So again, in HAB, each TA packet is different. These 2 are not same for HAB because depending on the site visit, depending on the grantee, the TA packet, the documents required to perform the site visit might be different. So if you think you downloaded from here and don't think you don't need the documents from other one, please download from each of the TA numbers listed here and keep them separate because for HAB they are different. And we do have sometimes around 9 or 10 attachments. So please make sure you get all those documents from here, and the technical assistance coordinator will attach everything here. So TA packet, you don't see the internal stuff happening. So once we get the TA request, approved TA request from HAB core, we contact you over the phones or emails, and we make sure you are available for the TA visit. And then we send the team to PO for approval. So once PO acknowledges the TA packet, then only you get a notification saying a TA packet is waiting for you. So until that point, it's MSCG. We are doing from the back end, we are soliciting the consultants, and we are making sure. And along with this email, you also get something called logistics confirmation email from MSCG. That is not from TATS, but from MSCG, saying grants information, project office information, consultants with the phone numbers, so the team phone number, consultant team with the phone numbers, email addresses, and a travel logistics confirmation email with your travel details, the hotel, airline. So that's going to be something new for HAB, but yes, that will come from MSCG directly. So in TATS, you get to download only the documents those are related to that particular type. You don't see any travel information here or any team member information here. So I'm clicking on download TA packet document here. These are the pre-populated details, and you see history. Who acknowledged? Who was the PO acknowledged? And HRSA documents. If there are any documents from HRSA, not the BPIC or not MSCG, but HRSA document shows up here. Or if it is from HAB, if it is from Bureau, if it is from HAB, they're going to show up here. And if it is from vendor, from MSCG, you're going to show up here. And what we do is, let me click on this. We provide you a document it has these documents in it. So if you go to TATS, you always see one document. Most of the times you always see one document, but that document has links to other documents. So like, when you see only one document and we are talking about 9 documents, that means the 9 documents are placed inside this one document. So you go here, you click on this, and this page will open here. And if you click on this one, the link, see, this is where all the documents are. The reimbursement guidelines, the frequently asked questions, all those things, the consultant letter, like, team lead letter, team member, everything is here. You can download it from here. So because, if there are like, 9 or 10 documents, we are not putting them, we are not uploading all the documents here. We're just uploading one document with the links to all other documents. So most of the cases this is true, but some cases we will have to upload all 9 or 10 or 15 documents. There is a limit, so we cannot attach more than 20 documents, I think. So worst case scenario, you will end up having 20 documents, but not more than that. So, but like in a best case scenario, 1 or 2 documents. So this is where you download it and you forget about the TA packet. That's all you do. Like, you don't have to do, there is no action you need to take. You just come to TATS, you just download the TA packet, and you take it with you to the site visit. And this TA packet is available as long as the site visit date, end date is still there. Like, if the site visit end date is tomorrow, you can still access until tomorrow midnight. But once the site visit end date is passed, you will lose access to it. So again, like, this is not the case before in the TATS, but this is something new that I don't know whether that is released yet, but you will not be able to see the TA packet after the end date, midnight of the end date. But that is something new. So hopefully that's what it is. But again, like, you don't need a TA packet after site visit date. You probably need to download everything before you go on site. And one other option here is you will get to download the site visit report template and guidance. Those 2 documents will be directly here or part of this. But yes, you will have a document, a site visit report template, as well as the report guidance. So part A, B, we are like, just giving you a site visit template, report template you will be working off, and part C, D, and F, we are doing something different. We're going to show up towards the end of this call. But part A and B, you will download a template from here. This is for both team members and team leads. Even team members, they have to follow the same template. Team lead has to compile everything, consolidate into one report, and submit to PO for review before it goes into TATS. But we'll come to that point in the report section. But TA packets, yes, this is what the TA packet is. And yeah, so this is TA packet. So we have finished a view, update profile, access TA packet. So the big thing you got, the task is that prepare TA report and change requested. As George said, these 2 are interlinked. So once this is done, then this will come. This might come, might not come, but depending on the report. But these are 2 interlinked, and we'll go one after another. So yeah, again, TA packet, we will take the questions towards the end within an half an hour time. So we are almost there. So let's begin with the prepared TA packet, prepared TA report. So the thing is, the prepared TA report, you do not see a pending task in TATS at least a day after the site visit end date. So like, if the site visit is ending today, you will see the pending tasks tomorrow, not today or the day before today. So you see a day after the site visit end date. So then only you can go forward and do it. So okay, I'm handing over to George to go a little bit over the TA report, and then we go to online screens to show you the steps. Again, this is we are recording this session, and in future, like, if you need any of these, the recording will be available. Okay, so by saying that, I'm handing over to George to take over the TA report right here. Okay, George, it's all yours.
Okay. Some very important things about the TA report submission for you all. This is brand new. It's in TATS. First and foremost, the only person that can upload the initial TA report is you, the consultant in TATS. I can't do it for you. The project officer can't do it for you. Ramana can't do it for you. And the administrator of HRSA can't do it for you. Nobody else can upload that report into TATS. Okay, that's very important because the only way a report can be approved and verified is now through TATS. That's the mandate that HRSA is working under. That's all the Bureau's mandate. The report must be in TATS in order to be processed and approved. A second, and probably the most important thing for you all to know about why am I uploading a report into TATS. The only way you're going to get your honorarium is when that report is approved in TATS. Not when I say it's good, not when the project officer says thank you. You're not going to get your honorarium until we are notified via TATS, and there's a process for this. You don't need to worry about that part of the process, that the report is approved, and that is one of the steps that will occur in TATS. Okay, the other thing, okay, TATS, reports in the TATS. As you see on the slide, everything you do from the day we got this contract, 2 contracts actually, I don't know if we mentioned that earlier or not, there are 2 separate contracts we have. All the site visit reports that are now being done under these new contracts must be uploaded into TATS. Okay, again, roles involved. There are 3 people involved in this process again, and we'll talk about what each of those 3 people do. There's a consultant, there's the vendor staff, project officer. I misspoke. There's 4 people, but there's 3 people involved initially in the report process. And then the 4th person is very important because that PQC, the branch chief, what have you, is the person that ultimately gets to approve the report in TATS. Okay. The consultant, you can access the TA report in TATS. We'll talk about how you do that when we go live. You can start and edit a TA report, okay? However, there's a process involved in that, okay? And we'll talk about that as well, and you can submit the TA report. When we get to the screens about submitting TA reports, it's very important again, and I'll highlight this when we talk about TATS. You not only submit a report, but you're going to see another screen that appears that says confirm and notify, and you need to make sure you do that, because if you don't do that, that report really doesn't exist in TATS. Technically, it kind of is over there somewhere if you saved and continued it, so you go back and finish the report. But trust me, I can't do my job, which is move the report through TATS, until you do that final 2 steps, and we'll highlight those on the screen for you. I will be one of the technical assistance reviewers in TATS. LaTanya will be my backup. That's the other person. Down the road, we may add a 3rd person, but for right now, the 2 names are George Ersick and LaTanya Dunlow. We're the ones that can move a report through TATS. Okay? Finally, the project officer can access the TA report at any time in TATS. They can review the report in TATS. When we say provide recommendations, that is talking about if the project officer needs something to change in TATS, in the report that's in TATS, they can do a process, and we'll talk about that very briefly, whereas they would notify me, the TAR, Technical Assistance Reviewer, that they want a change made in that report. The branch chief, PQC, whatever have you, can do basically the same types of things the project officer can do in TATS. And then I think we're ready. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's see a consultant screen where I can be as a consultant and see the pending TA report tasks and work through them. So I'm going to show each and every step involved in submitting a TA report using TATS. So that's all you will be doing. So for HAB, the review is done outside of the TATS, and we just upload your report into TATS. So bottom line I can say is in most cases, the report you will be submitting into TATS, mostly it's a final report. So that we will confirm later, but yes, the report you will be submitting into TATS, that will be the final report that we will be doing, you will be doing, because the review has to be done before that. So, but let me take you to the TATS screen where I can log in as a consultant, show you again. This is a dummy data. It is not real. I'm just using some profiles, and I'm not sharing any personal information of anybody's. So, just like, I just want to show you the screen so that, like, you will be more comfortable after this call. So, I'm just going to log in as one of the consultants and go here to TATS. And again, this screen you will see now every day, like, so it's a EHB screen if you're familiar with EHBs. It's the same interface across HRSA for EHBs, TATS, or like grantee profiles. Okay, so now you don't have to click on the task or home. Once you log in, you see look for assign task, and there is number here. That means there is one task waiting for you. It might be either a TA prepare TA report or a change request, but both are related to TA report. So if you see one here, you don't have to click on here and go to the next step, which I'll take you. So click on here. So this is a shortcut. The one we are going is the actual way of doing it. So here. So prepare TA report is highlighted and it is showing up here. Okay, this is the TA number, all these details, and start TA report, and you see the options here. So before you start the report, you can see action history, TA report review. If it is a change requested, you have already uploaded and something is waiting for you to change it, this you look into this. But like most 100 out of 100 times, you are just clicking on start TA report.
In other words, that report's not there yet.
Yeah. Okay, so you see all those details here. Who is the project director, what is the task order, and who is the project manager, who is the project officer, all these details. So this is just for your information. There is nothing you can change it. And last comments if there are any. And if you remember, I showed you the document. So this is where, if you do not have a TA report template, you can download it from here. You click here, it will open a Word document, and from there you download a template. But you already have the template as part of your TA packet. But if you miss it there, you can always grab it from here. So now coming to this part. See here, draft TA report supporting document. The draft TA report is the actual report you are uploading. You have there are other supporting documents like participants list or agenda or any other materials you shared. Those are all comes under the part here. But here, the draft TA report is the report, the actual report that you are submitting. So what you do here, it is a star. Draft minimum one, maximum one. You can only submit one at a time. So not one at a time. It's only one report for the TA, just one report, and everything has to be consolidated into that one report. And so what I do is draft TA report, and you see here attach file. And depending on the computer you use, Mac or Windows, sometimes it shows attach file, sometimes it shows browse. So, but most of the times it shows attach file. So click on the attach file. Now you see here browse And on Mac computers, it shows as a choose file. So one and the same. So you select a Word document from here. Any comments? This is not required. Okay? So, but you select this and upload it here. Okay. So what you done? You upload a report, but you are not done yet. You just uploaded a report but not submitted. And if you have any supporting documents, click on here. No, you did not upload any. So attach file. If you have any, this is not mandatory, but if you are any, and I think perhaps we do have supporting documents like agenda and participant list and materials, other materials. So we do have, so we are expecting you to submit maximum, supporting documents. Again, excuse us if we didn't tell you before, but if it is a team, if the report is required only by a team leader, that means the team members will give their part of the report to the team lead. Team lead will consolidate the report into one and submit here. So if there is a team and if there is a team leader and that report is only required by a team lead, team members are not supposed to upload the report into TATS. So if you're a team member, you are giving your portion to team lead, so please do not check in TATS for your task. It will not be there, it should not be there, and it will not be there.
Yeah, and this is really important because the other thing that could happen, and we haven't talked about that yet, the team members and the team lead are going to consolidate the report outside of TATS before the team lead uploads it via email or however you want to do it. But you can only upload this report once by the team lead, okay, and that's very important. There is a mechanism, yours truly, the TAR can use to get back and open TATS back up to you. But the report that the team lead uploads, the consolidated report, can only be uploaded once, okay, and then we'll talk about in a minute if it's the request change feature, change request feature that I can use to open TATS back up to you. But initially, if somebody else other than the team lead uploads a report, it creates havoc.
Okay, so yeah, so I'm not uploading any supporting documents for testing purposes here. Just cancel, and I'm putting some notes. Okay, so you have uploaded a TA report. You do not have supporting documents ready. What do? You just come here and you just save it. If you save it, this particular pending task is still in your queue. It is not going to go anywhere if you save it. So that means you can come back to this and you can modify the report that you uploaded. You can delete that and you can re-upload a new one, or you can upload supporting documents. So you can modify this. How to delete this and re-upload new one? If you see here on the options, excuse me, one of the options is delete. So if you delete this, this is going to go away and you can upload a new report. So again, this is, you can do this as long as the TA pending task order, pending TA request is in your queue.
Okay, and to make that clear, because we're using the word upload, when I said that, and we'll get to it in a second, that you can only upload the report once, that means the completed process of an upload, which we haven't gotten to yet, but you'll see that in a second. So what Ramana is telling you is that until you take the choose action button and go to submit, okay, if you save or save and continue, you can mess around with this report, delete it, and do other things. But once you hit submit in the next screen that occurs, then that's the end point of your ability to upload another report into TATS. Okay, so just to make that clear, it's kind of like it's hard to visualize, but vision, but When you save it, it's in TATS, it's in your queue, but nobody else in the world can see that report yet. It hasn't gone anywhere in TATS. And importantly for you all, that means neither the project officer nor I or anybody else can do anything with that report. We can't actually even see that report at this point until you take the next steps, which Raman is about to talk about.
So once all this is done, you uploaded your report and you uploaded your supporting documents, all this is done, you got to come here and choose the action submit. So click go. Okay, this is the confirmation page. See here, where is it going? By default, these are our reviewers, MSCG reviewers, and if you want to include, and it also goes to project officer. You don't have to include the project officer name here. I know you're not seeing it here, but they are included by default. So if it is not the project officer, or if it is not MSCG, and if you want to send it to somebody else, then you put the information here, otherwise just leave it blank. And subject says draft TA report available for PO contribution and all the stuff you did it. And then here, this is the final button in the step. You click on confirm and notify.
Okay, now once you click on that button is when I talked about upload. The report becomes available to myself and the project officer in TATS. And that's when we can take whatever actions we want to take with it. Until you hit that confirm and notify button, again, it doesn't exist for myself and it doesn't exist for the project officer.
So if you see here, TA report submitted successfully and prepared TA report is highlighted, but you don't see anything here. There was a TA report before, now it is not there. That means you have successfully submitted the TA report. If you see that list here, as long as you see, that means it is still in your list and we did not get it and you never sent it. Even though you uploaded it, you never sent it. So you need to make sure that particular TA should not show up here. That's like, that's your like a blind rule. If it shows up here, it is in your queue. If it is not here, that we got it.
Right. The earlier screen where it had the TA number, the report name, and all that stuff, if it's there now, you haven't submitted it and you haven't completed the submission. This will be blank just like you see right now if you successfully completed the process. And what you've done is you've now placed it in the hands of my hands or the project officer's or the project officer's hands to take further action with it. And it does disappear from your queue at this point.
Okay, so the next steps, PO gets it, MSCG gets it. If either PO or MSCG or both have any changes to the report, they're going to send the consultant back in TATS. The report, they're going to send the report back to the consultant in TATS. So when they send it, you're going to get a notification saying a change request has been made from MSCG or PO, and you should respond by clicking the link. So when you click that link is TATS. You come here, and this is where you look for change requested. Click on this. Okay, there are no results found because this particular consultant has no change requested TS. But if there is one, it's going to show up here, and you follow the same steps. Start TA report, and you go into the next page, and you upload the new report, and you go from there. So it's the same process, change request or prepare TA report, but you are looking in a different pools. The initial report is going to part of the prepare TA report, and whenever you got changes, it's going to part of change request pool. So there are two different pools. That's all it is different. Everything else is same.
Right. And the TAR is the person who will initiate the change request back to you. And that opens TATS, as we just talked about, back up to you. And in essence, it's going to look like the first screen we saw, more or less. And you're going to see a report there in your queue now that you need to react to and respond to. and you will be able to re-upload a newer version of that report back into TATS at that point.
Okay, so by saying this, we have completed the 3 sections in TATS.
Everybody take a breath.
And we have one more last section, which is more important for Part C, D, and F program. There is a process to prepare the TA report before it gets uploaded into TATS. So the Word document we are talking, the report template we are talking, that is going to be an online form. You go to a website, you just prepare a report and send it to the PO from that site, and PO reviews it, sends it back to you, then you will upload into TATS. So all the review and finalization of the report for Part C, D, and F has to be done before it gets into TATS. So let's visit that system. So you will have 2 different sets of usernames and passwords. One for TATS, and forget about that. So one for TATS, and that is only for TATS. You cannot use it anywhere else. One from MSCG, that you can use for your consultant contracts, uploading your references, or taking the trainings, or showing the system that we're going to show up in next. That system the preparing the online report for Part C, D, and F. So you will have 2 sets of users. Don't be confused. You will have 2 sets of usernames and passwords. One for TATS, one for non-TATS. Okay, so this is done though. So TATS is done. I am going to the online site visit system for Part C, D, and F, and then we'll take the question. So that will be, okay, so this is the link. You are getting this link as part of the logistics confirmation email. The link is already there. Whoever is scheduled for this week, they should have this link in their emails. But this is the link, and our logistics coordinator, Andrea Reid, she can always give you the link if you mislocated or if you don't find it. But yes, remember, as I told, repeating this is for Part C, D, and F.
Okay, and theoretically and hopefully if everything works right, the only consultants who will get this link is when they are going on a site visit that involves Part C, D, and F. So you don't need to worry about whether or not you're supposed to have a TATS link or this link. If you're doing a report for C, D, and F, you should be getting this link in your package.
Okay, so what is this? What are you doing here? 3 consultants, administrative, clinical, physical, and team lead is responsible for these documents. Of course, team members also contributes to this, but team lead is the one who makes sure the agenda is there, the list of the participants is there, the chart review tool is there, any other materials, shared documents, along with the site visit report, which has these 3 sections. So all these things can be done using this website and can be sent to the project officer as one package. So I log in as a consultant here, and this is applicable only to those site visits. So don't worry if you are not one of those. But okay, it will show you the consultant name, and you can always log out. So this is a site visit that is coming up this week, and the person who logged in here is a team lead. If a person logs in here, a team member logs in here, it shows team member. So team lead has a different responsibility, team member has a different responsibility. So you see here, and the team lead clicks on proceed TA report, or team member clicks on proceed to TA report.
An important thing to keep in mind, what we just said, is unlike TATS, the team members and the team lead are all working in the online system, this report that comes up in the online system. Okay, so you're not sending the team lead a separate document. You're all working off of a document in this online system.
Okay, so this will give you the grantee details, the type of visit, dates, and what are the consultants delay. So the team lead is identified. So these are the team members. Again, this is a test data, not a real data. I'll come to these three sections a little later, few minutes. And this one here, the title, section view, I'll go by this here. Okay, so to make the the site visit report preparation easy, we have divided the site visit report into few sections here. So purpose of visit, overview of grantee organization, administrative one. If you see these 4 sections is for admin, and next 4 sections is for, sorry, this is a mistake, this should be clinical. So the next 4 sections should be clinical, and last 4 sections of fiscal, and then appendix A, B, C, D, and E. Okay. If a consultant assigns this to them, the consultant only, one consultant can work at a time. If you see, only one user can be in any section at a given time. That means if I am working, you got to the team member, the second person has to wait until I finish, because I don't want to override your changes, and I don't want you to override my changes. So once you assign, let's say assign to self, yeah, the purpose of site visit, you type in what is the information you have. There is no limit, but you just put the purpose of site visit here. If you save it here, okay, your changes have been made, you have not completed this section. Then what that means? See, it is assigned to you. So now nobody can assign it. So only this consultant can work on it until that consultant goes there, save, and I'm done with this section. So that means when you go back, see, it is assigned to none. So the next consultant can go there and add their contribution to that purpose of visit.
Okay, and that's important. Remember, if you're working on it, until you hit that save button, nobody else can work on that particular section of the report, including the team lead, if it's not the team lead's responsibility already. So when you assign something to yourself, you need to be very sure that when you're completed, you hit that button.
Okay, so if you want to see what, example, this was assigned to some different person, but you want to see how it looks like, you can just view it, and you can view it, but you cannot do anything until that other consultant signs it off. Okay, so, and grantee, overview of grantee organization. So these are all works as the guidelines, but the thing is you are entering overview for grantee, and each section, administrative overview, clinical overview, and fiscal overview. So I know this is, I think each consultant has to work on this section because it is an overview of those 3 expertise, fiscal, administrative, and clinical. So once an administrative consultant assigns, the consultant has to finish this before the next consultant comes in and updates. But that's how the system works. And the only thing why we are restricting that, no 2 people can work at the same time, because we don't want you to override each other's stuff.
By the way, this template is the HIV/AIDS Bureau template. Okay, it shouldn't be. I don't believe it's anything new for Part C and D.
Yeah. So
convert it to an online version.
Online version, and I'll show you how this is going to be converted into Word version at the end of this thing. So for administrative section 1, the requirement 1, you see 3 things, whether it is met or non-met or partial met, what are the findings, what are the recommendations. So again, You can save it, come back and finish it, or if you are done, you have everything, just click on it. So as long as this is in your queue, you can work on it. And same thing, 2, 3. So all these works same until 12. And we believe the agenda is only for the team lead. So team lead clicks on this one and uploads the agenda. Just put a name for that one. And upload that agenda, upload it, and it will upload to a system, but not, it's still there. You are not sending it to the project officer yet. It is just, you are just storing it there. Upload, and then list of site visit participants. So this is another separate document. You just go there, you enter the name, title, interviewed, entrance and exit. This is like entrance conference and exit conference. So, but again, you probably have only exit conference. Where system will not harm you anything. You just put it here. So you can just select no here and select yes here. So you can put as many as 40 people here. So I'm going to talk to the HAB code tomorrow whether the 40 is enough. But right now, we have put up 40. So you can enter 40 people into this one. We can extend, we can increase this or decrease this, but this will be one more supporting document that you will be providing, and it will be generated from this form. Okay. So essentially, you will not be working on the Word documents. You are working here and converting them into Word documents. And chart review. This is the tool. This is for clinical consultant. We're going to put something in the highlight. This one is the clinical consultant. And when you click on this button, it is not there right now, but when you click on this button even tomorrow, you're going to see the chart review form. That form, you probably familiar with it, but let me show you that form. That will be this form is going to be an online form. You enter your responses. So this is the chart form you will be submitting there. Okay, and then any other materials. It is like agenda. You can upload team members, team leads. They can upload any other materials. And list of the shared documents. What are the documents you shared over there? Refer materials, anything. You are not uploading them. You are uploading them as part of here, but here you are just putting a list of the documents shared. Typing the list of the documents. These are the testing data, so you don't see the real one, but you just save it, save and done. So the only thing you got to be careful is only one user can be in any section at a given time. That section will not be available to other users until the assigned users release it by clicking on the save and I am done with this section button. So, but while it is assigned to some other person, you can always see the read-only version. Okay. So the team lead, what team lead's job here? Team lead has to make sure this assigned to is none before he sends it to the PO. So as long as it is assigned to somebody, that means it is not completed, and system will not let team lead to send it. It has to be none. That then only system will let the team lead to send the report to PO. Okay. So now, let's say all the team members, team lead, everybody is completed the report. The team lead wants to see how it looks like. Here is the read-only version. This is a disclaimer, grant information, type of visit, purpose of visit, dates of visit, project officer, contractor staff, whether the consultants, including the team lead, and overview of grantee organization, administrative overview, clinical overview, fiscal overview, and then each section, requirement 1. These are the requirements, but this is where met, not met, findings, recommendations, requirement 2. So if you see all 12 requirements, then all 12 requirements. So you see here. So let's say like team lead is satisfied now. Go back here and step 1, send the report to PO. This is when the system will convert all this stuff into Word document and send the Word document along with the agenda, other materials, participant list to the PO. And team lead has to communicate. Once it is gone from the system, the project officer reviews it internally along with the branch chief or other officials over there, and gets back to the team lead with the changes. So whenever there is a change, the team lead has to come back to this system and go into this and make the change. If the changes is for team members, team lead has to communicate that back to the team members, and team member has to come here, make the change. So once the changes are done, you still click on step 1. So as long as it is under the review, you take the changes back from the team project officer, you come here, you make changes, send it to PO. So once PO says it is good to go into TATS, that's when you click the step 2 and you get a Word document in your email which you use to submit it into TATS. So the review, as long as it is a review, the step 1, your communication between PO and you come here, you make changes, send it to PO. So once everything is done, you click on the step 2. It is clearly written, click on this button to send the report to yourself to upload it into TATS. Once this step is done, the TA request will be out of your queue. So once you click on this one, you will not make any changes in the system. So because it will be a final document, it will be sent to your email, and you download it from your email and send it to TATS, and then whatever we talked about the TATS, all the stuff. But this is before TATS. So the final, when you click this, send the report to PO, how the final document looks like. The final Word document. The final Word document looks like okay. So it looks like this is the final report. It has a header, whatever it is, disclaimer, grant information, type of site visit, dates of visits, project officer, contract to staff, purpose. This is whatever you put into that system, they're going to show up here. You are not typing anything here. It is coming from the system. Overview, administrative, requirement 1, requirement 2, requirement 3, and clinical. So all this. So you see 12 requirements here. Okay. So this is the document that, at the end of the day, you will be sending it into TATS, and from there it will be approved and archived. So you are not typing anything here. You are getting everything from the online system, which is this. So this way we can track the reports, and we can query the database, how many are met, how many are not met, how many are partially met during this period. So we can query that, so we can do all those things. But this is a system that you will be using for part C, D, and F. I'm repeating, I'm sorry, but that's what C. And please read the report completion date. There are some particular dates for team members and team leads. Please read this. And when you get a team lead letter from us for the site visit, please, and team member letter, please read those letters, because there are some time-sensitive activities that you will be doing, tasks you will be doing. So please read that, and we have some new reimbursement guidelines. And when you get a package, please read each and everything of it, because at least for first time, because there are a lot of new things for you guys. So by saying that, I can say we have finished the stuff we wanted to show today, and I think we are open to the questions at this point. And now again, I think you need to dial *6 to unmute and talk to us, or you can always raise your hand in the GoToMeeting so that I can see and I can answer your question. Okay, Jacqueline Melvin.
So as a team leader, part of compiling the report is checking the report for grammar, spelling, duplication of information. Are we able to do that through this system?
Yes, you have a tool right there. I probably did not show you that one there, but it will look for the spelling mistakes. It will look for the grammar. It will look for it will suggest you. I can quickly take back you to that.
He'll go to a screen, but it will look like a Word document screen where you can do the spell check and things like that. And so you still can do that.
It's in the system tool. I'll show you 1 second.
That's a great question, since you are expected to do that.
Okay, let me take you this here. Okay, let me go to one of these. Okay, this tool here.
Right there.
It has everything. It's spell mistake. It has the grammar. It has everything. So, and there is a user guide right here. You can see the user guide, but I'll send you that. But and it has its own style. So everything is here. So if you are like, I don't think we missed anything, but you can do it here. So is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, I can understand that. Thank you. Just to follow up, though, some of our information may be duplicated administratively, fiscally. So as in compiling the report, we're sort of making sure that the report does not have a duplication of information throughout it. But
Correct.
This way, what I report, if it overlaps administratively with fiscal, then does it show twice, just in different wording? Because I've reported it one way and the fiscal person has reported it another.
Yeah, whatever you put it in each of those sections, it is going to show up.
Right, and ultimately, remember, you're going to go back and forth with the project officer. Ultimately, the project officer gets to determine, if they want the duplication removed or not.
Okay.
Okay, Betty Wilson. Hello? Betty Wilson.
Oh, I'm sorry. I withdrew my question, but thank you.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. I am not hearing any audio as the question started. That's the old one? Okay. Let's start something. This is the old one.
We're skimming through the questions as you see on your screen.
Is the TATS system ready? Yes. There is one question on that one. I'm just going through the questions and then I'm going to come back to the hands. Okay. Can the presenter please speak a bit louder? I'm sorry, we are looking a little late. If your US mail address is different from physical address at which we receive you, to indicate to that. Yes, the US mail address is, there is a space, the mail stop. You can make this change. You can indicate that this is from Steven Jensen. You can indicate yes, the preferred mailing address. Is the report being typed in a separate document then uploaded, or is being typed directly onto the site? So for part A and B, it is a separate document you need to type and submit, and part C, D, and F, the system we just showed you, you got to use that.
Right. If your question was about the online system, you're typing it into the online system. You don't have a separate document.
Will the template change for part? Yes. It is the part C and D is the one template and part F is a different template. But depending on the tier type, you will see a different template. Yes, like if it is completed by more than one consultant, it's going to show up all the consultant names who already worked on it. So you're not going to miss it. So like consultant A already worked on it, and consultant B logged in. the consultant B will see who already completed that section. So yes, all the names are listed right there. When is the completed consultant profile is due? I cannot say when, but the sooner the better, because we use that profile to schedule you for the site visit.
Right. An updated profile is very important as we begin a myriad of site visits that are coming up. Yeah, if your site visit profile isn't updated, we may miss you.
Okay, so the chart audits, Part C and D be different, specifying those Part D specific audit requirements. So this we'll take it back to Judge unless you have answer for this one.
No, I don't. We'll have to take that back to him.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay. So we will take this back to HAB and we will address this. What is the web address for the training slides? We will send you this after the call. We will receive in country. Will we receive the information when the report has been approved for payment? Yes. Yes. Yeah. You will receive the confirmation when the report has been approved for payment from MSCG. So to confirm a CA site visit report is not required for, no, the CA site visit report is required for Part A and Part B, but for Part A and Part B, we are not using the online system. We are using a Word document, and we will provide you the template you can work off of. But yes, the report is required for all the parts.
Yep. An easy way to say it is all consultants who do a site visit are going to, team leads in particular, are going to submit a report into TATS. And remember again, you can't get paid unless there's a report in TATS. It's just that simple.
What is the standard reimbursement rate for consultant? You want to do that?
I believe the standard rate, if I can recall off the top of my head really quick, and the TATS app person can correct me, $650 for team member and $700, I think, for the team lead. Was that where we left off?
600 for everything.
600 for everything? Okay, 600.
Yeah. But we'll confirm that. But it's a 600 for team lead and team members. Right? Yeah, but we will confirm that. And are the expertise items for TATS the same as MSCG consult? Yes, they are same. We're gonna. So the thing is, why you are doing two profiles now? So if you have already done MSCG, we could have transmitted that to TATS. But now we are in a position you have a profile in TATS and you have incomplete profile in TATS and incomplete profile in MSCG. So unfortunately, you got to do in both places now. For the consultant who is not part of the TATS yet, if they do the MSCG, we will transmit that information into TATS. But most of the consultants, we do not have that information up front, so we just used whatever we had. So you got to do it in both places, and MSCG is the one we will be using internally. TATS is for just TATS. The areas of expertise to select from do not include most administrative work. Administrative is Part A, Part B, Part C. So you got to select one of those. When does your contract kick in and start assigning duties to consultants? It is already kicked in, and we are scheduling the site visits. The final report template is same for Part A and Part B. Again, we will give you the template which is required for that particular site visit. So it will be part of your TA packet.
Yes.
It sounds like the consultant can enter data and then return to that wording to edit prior to submitting for the final report. Yes, this is true in the online site visit report system. So you can have it, you can enter something today and come back later and fix it. But as long as it is in a queue, no other colleague of you can do anything. Can we have an instruction sheet so that we can look back as we were on our reports? Yeah, we will provide you a cheat sheet. Hopefully that will help you about the TATS and the online service system. So we will provide the cheat sheet as soon as possible, very soon. Since we don't get paid until the report is approved, what is the report approval timeline? Again, this is it is listed in the team lead and team member letters. So I don't remember on top of my head, but all the instructions are listed on this website here and on the team member and team lead letters.
To put it another way, the HIV/AIDS Bureau is the one who's going to determine those timelines in terms of how much time they have internally to approve a report. And it may vary, so keep that in mind.
Clinicians were hired previously and also for team lead. Again, if I said it something wrong, because that is not, we were not supposed to announce that in the call here. So I do not have exact team leader, team member rates, but yes, you will get everything up front before you go on to site visit. So that is part of the TA packet. And again, you can call us and you can just talk to Andrea, and Andrea Reed, and you can call our main number, and she can answer your questions about the rates. If you complete the TATS, do you need to complete? There is no way you can complete the TATS, because if that is for the profile, yes, you got to do it in both places. If you complete the TATS, do you need to complete the MSCG? If that is for the profile, yes, you got to do it in both places. If it is for the TA report, it is the other way. You got to complete the MSCG, then go into TATS. Must all reports be completed in the field before returning home? No, right?
Now, there's a timeline for that question. Must all reports be completed in the field, be returning home? There is a timeline you will see in your letter to the team member and team lead that tells you how much time we expect the team lead to have prior to uploading the report into whatever system they're supposed to upload it into.
Yeah, so you have few calendar days before you submit as a team member, and team lead has about 10-15 calendar days before he submits, but before the team lead submits. But I'm the numbers are on this page here, on the home page of this one, the online site visit system. And again, every site visit you have that information before you go there. What is the difference between the team lead and the TA coordinator? TA coordinator is the one who is the MSCG employee who works behind the scenes, sends you to the required documentation, the TA packets, all those stuff, who arranges the team and who sends all the logistics emails. Team lead is a person who is on site and working with you.
Team lead is a consultant.
Yeah. What if the area sector is not listed? You got to select one of those 6 areas are listed. So we don't have any workaround for that one. So it has to be one of those listed there and top 6. So if you are doing TA visits as an independent consultant but also work full-time at an agency, how should that be marked? Judge?
I don't know. We'll have to think about that.
Okay, right now we do not have answer for that one. If you are doing TA site visits as an independent consultant but also work full-time at an agency, how should that be marked? You just do employed, and then you put the employment details there in TATS. Will you see the TA number in both systems? Yes, you will see the TA number in both systems. Once the is final and approved, what is the time frame to execute the payment? So as soon as we get the final approval, we will send you a note to submit your voucher, and what is the time frame we have after that? Yeah,
At max.
Yeah. So once we get your final voucher after the approved report, we have 7 business days. That's the max. But the max is 7 business days.
And it is an online voucher system, by the way.
I am in TATS and cannot find the way you input more than just my name. If you are still there, can you I don't. It is what, Daniel? Can you a little bit explain over the phone? I'm in TATS, cannot find the way you input more than just my name. It is for Daniel.
Yes.
So can you a little bit explain what is the question about?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm in the welcome screen, but I can't see the way you entered in all the details of your address, so on and so forth.
On the left-hand side, there is a menu which collapses by default. You need to expand that.
And that's what I can't find, that menu that's collapsed.
Okay. Are you in TATS or are you in the MSCG system?
I'm in TATS.
You're in the TATS?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's what I keep on looking for, is I can't find that sidebar.
Do you see on the top, you see tasks bar, tasks?
Yes.
Click on the tasks.
Okay. Wait. All
Yep.
right. So,
On the left-hand side, you see a menu.
right. View update. There it is.
Yes.
Okay. I got it now. Thank you so much.
It's going to be a learning experience, trust me.
Okay. Next, for the profile and MSCG, do you need scanned copies of the degrees? Yes, please. You can upload them. You can scan them and you can upload them into the system, and we will get the electronic copy. And what do you mean by online voucher system? Yes, you will get a link to the online voucher system when you get a logistics confirmation email. So if you are going for a site visit, you get an email from us, and you get a link to upload your vouchers online. And again, that is the same password that you use for MSCG related activities. So there is no different thing. It is the same username and password, non-TATS. And we do have an online system for vouchers. So we are not accepting any paper stuff. So you go there, you submit your vouchers online, you scan your vouchers, you scan your receipts and you submit there. So those will be all, those will be sent to you as part of the TA packet. I have a TA request but unable to see in TATS and did not get a message connection. So the TA request, TA000984, if you are already scheduled for that, you don't see it in TATS until we send you a TA packet. So if you have already received a TA packet from us, then don't see it. Please call us back. But if you do not receive, if you did not receive any TA packet until now, that means it is not there yet. But if you are a consultant to that 984, you will get it. What is the purpose of the conference be held in Bethesda? Got an email. So that is from Bureau. We sent it. Do you have any other details?
No, if it's a reverse site visit for Part B, I think, that's all I can tell you, because our obligation as a vendor is to send out these announcements, but that's all I know at this point. You would have to contact one of your contacts at the HIV/AIDS Bureau to get more details, or I think there was a link in that announcement you could click on too, but that's how you would get the details for that.
Okay, in looking at the travel information, it looks like the consultants will be paying for the hotel at the time of visit and then be reimbursed. Is this different than in the past? Am I reading that correctly? It is not different. The consultants, they pay their hotel, but we do not wait to reimburse those things until the report is approved. So we will reimburse you for the expenses like hotels or rental car, something like that, upon what do we say?
They need to submit their
with your receipts. The only thing that we are holding is what? The fee, right?
The voucher, right? I mean the honorarium, right?
We are holding only the honorarium, but we are paying the reimbursements right after the site visit.
Right. You need only to submit that information to get paid for your travel expenses, hotel, rental car, etc.
So hotel will not be paid prior, but we will pay you right after the site visit. You don't have to wait for the report is approved. So that means you will be submitting 2 reimbursements, 2 vouchers, one for the reimbursements and one for the fee honorarium. So yeah, but again, the document you get, the instructions, everything is clear and everything is listed there. The contractor always pays the hotel, rental car and flights, not the consultant previously. So this one, we will see, Latanya, this is for you. The contractor always pays the hotel, rental car and flights, not the consultant previously. So you want to revisit this and yeah, so we will revisit the contractor paying the hotels, rental cars, flights. Flight we are paying. The travel, we are booking the travel. If the rental car is already booked by us, we will pay. So hotel, we reserve the hotel, but right now we are not paying. We book the hotel, we provide you everything, all the information, but I think the payment is going from your package initially. But flights, yes, we are booking the flights, we are giving you the itineraries and everything up front. So hotel, we will revisit and we'll get back to you. Concerning the hotel expenses, yes, this is a difference in the past. I have been a consultant for 8 years and I have never paid the hotel up front. Again, the hotel, yes, we will revisit that and we'll get back to you all the consultants. What turnaround for hotel reimbursement? Again, it's the same 7 business days, but as long as we get the reimbursement in good shape with the receipts, we'll pay you. But the maximum time is 7 business days. Previously, have TA contractor paid for air travel and hotel for onset. So, even now we are doing the air travel, we are paying for hotel, we are paying for the air travel. The only thing is when. So, for air travel, we are paying upfront. We are booking the tickets, not you. So, we are booking the hotel, and we are reserving the hotels. But you will be paying for it, and we are reimbursing those amounts. So, bottom line is, contractor is paying for everything. One is upfront, and one is after the visit. So. Okay, so that's all I have here. If there are no questions, Steven Jensen, not attentive. Okay. So yeah, so it's right 3 p.m. Eastern time, and we are right on schedule, and I don't see any new questions. So unless we have any other questions, I think it is time to wrap it up. So you want to say something, Josh?
Just to thank you all for participating. Yes, we do know this is a lot to absorb at one, fell swoop, and we will be available for questions. And on the slides, it has that kind of information in the slide presentation. And it's going to take a while for everybody to get used to it. But again, we've been using this system for years now, so we're familiar with it.
Okay, so thank you very much, and have a great day, rest of the day. Thank you.